Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very pleased to be here this evening at the invitation of the Uruguayan Hereford Association. And like New Zealand earlier today, we start off with a nice picture of Ireland, so that you'll be tempted to come to see us for the scenery, even if you don't come to see us for the Herefords. But the Gulf Stream, I suppose, provides a temperate climate for Ireland and gives us a long growing season, and the size of the country is pretty small as compared with Kazakhstan. We'd probably fit into a small back garden there, but 6.9 million hectares, 4.5 million hectares are in agriculture, with 730,000 hectares of forestry. And our population is just 4 million people. So the population is quite small. But we reckon there are probably another 12 million Irish at least across the world elsewhere. So if we don't help the Irish economy, we help the economy of the rest of the world. So with land use, 81% of the land is in pasture. Hay and silage would be 3.6 million hectares, with 11% of rough grazing and 8% for crops. Cropping is a very small portion of the Irish agricultural and farms are 139,000 farms. The farms are relatively small, and if we compare them to Uruguay, 32 hectares, you can see how small the Irish farm is. Most Irish farmers cannot survive unless they have a job off farm, or else their wife has a job off farm and works elsewhere. And in Ireland, a farmer who has a wife who's working, we call her a laying hen. I don't know if you can understand the logic of that one, but we do call her, she's a useful asset to the farm because she subsidizes the farming. International markets, the UK takes 41% of our agricultural production, and it's our main area of export. Other EU countries take 31%, and international markets then 28%. We're going the wrong way. This technology isn't helping, is it? Yeah, now I think we're back on track. In 2014, our agricultural exports were valued at 7.12 billion, with the dairy sector with 40% of that. Dairy in 2015, total milk output estimated at 6.982 million litres, with 507 million litres consumed as fresh milk. Dairy exports are a very important part of the agricultural exports, worth 3.2 billion euros. Dairy herds are a very important customer for Hereford bulls that we produce, and it's certainly a market that we cannot ignore. The other thing about the experts or the scientists in recent years suggest that beef from the dairy herd is more green than beef from the dairy herd, that it has less carbon emissions. So we believe them while we have the market with the dairy business. Pigs are 7.6% of the production, with cereals at 4.4%, sheep at 4%, and sheep are dropping fast. Sheep is no longer a major factor in Irish agriculture. Beef production is the one we're interested in. And the beef sector produces 29.4% in 2015. And this is comprised of 6.96 million cattle, and it's a grass-based system. It produces 564 million tonnes in 2015. So as you can see from the figures here, we're self-sufficient to a degree of 640%. So we've got to find a home for all of that beef. And mainly we look across the Irish Sea to our old friends in Britain, and we just hope that they would eat more beef than they do, but we're working on it and they're working on it. So 500,000 tonnes of beef were exported in 2015, and that's worth 2.4 1 billion euro to the Irish economy. And just probably 7-8 years ago, the country was pretty much bust, and the banks had fallen apart, and it's slowly we're rebuilding the economy, but it's a long, slow process. 179,000 cattle were exported live in last year in 2015, and that brought in 135 million. Most of these exports again would have gone to the UK and to Holland. Our main competitors in the business are Charolais and Limousin. But gone again, yeah. So total number of cattle herds 79,000, with 31,000 herds registered 1 to 10 calf births. So you can see how small the actual herds are. 21,000 herds register between 11 and 24 calf births. So beef, dairy crossbreeding are our main markets. On the beef cross area, an abundance of cross. From early February until mid-November in the south of Ireland, where it's milder, and then in the north from April to October. And bulls going into beef herds are about 35%, and into dairy herds 65%. And these dairy cross are a very important part of our beef brand program. Is very important to us. Winter period in Ireland is from 4 to 5 months. It's something which you don't experience here in most of South America. Our cattle must be indoors for 4 to 5 months, so it's quite expensive. We have to provide housing. In Ireland, the majority of cases, it's concrete slatted accommodation with a tank beneath the animals to take the waste material. And that waste material under EU law can only be spread on the land between certain dates. And you can appreciate that in weather like we are having now, it's quite possible that we will be allowed to spread the waste on the land. And if the weather was dry, we mightn't be allowed under EU law. But those are the peculiarities of EU law. It's a typical Irish Hereford bull used in a commercial herd in Ireland. It just gives you an idea of the length and size and muscling that we require. Commercial beef cows, again a picture that gives you an idea of the type of cows we're working on. Some black Hereford cross which come from the dairy industry, and then the red Hereford cross would be coming from the beef cow herd. Some flowers there just to show you that if you come to Ireland, it's not just all cattle you'll see. You can entertain yourself with some other things besides just cattle. Sometimes Hereford breeders in particular can be hung up on just cattle alone. Herefords were first imported into Ireland in 1775 by Arthur N. County Westmeath. An Irish Hereford Breed Association was founded in 1913, so it's over 100 years old. The Irish Hereford Breed Society, which was a regeneration of the Hereford Breed Association, was founded in 1973. And over the years, from Ireland, we've exported cattle to the UK, Europe, USA, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and more recently to Kazakhstan. Membership increased to 702 active members this year, which was an increase of 100 on the previous year. Active breeding cows are 3,950. Registrations, which is the number of calves registered, increase. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. It's been up and down, mainly due to the economic collapse. Increase in 2012 by 23%, in 2013 decrease of 15%, in 2014 an increase of 15%, in 2015 an increase of 20%. And just as an aside, 95% of the bulls registered, which is pretty much every bull that's born, are sold as sires. So just 5% don't make it as a sire.
Sorry,
2 minutes, right. So Hereford and Hereford Cross calf births have increased since 2011 to 2014, have increased by 28%. So you can see that the numbers are rising and rising quickly. Some Hereford cows, typical Hereford cows that you'll see in Ireland, moderate body size and again, most of their time spent on grass. DNA testing, sire verification, all sires natural and AI are DNA profiled and sire verified. All donor dams are parentage verified. All bull calves are sire verified. And all first calving females are sire verified. So in relation to genetic abnormalities, we test for a number of genetic abnormalities as well. Genomic testing, we're currently using a 50K chip that's from Idaho, and currently 300,000 animals in pedigree and the national herd have been genomically tested. And plans to add that genomic data to the animal evaluations this July and July 2016. And Dr. Donna Berry, who's been working on this in Ireland, will make a presentation at the conference the day after. I think it's tomorrow, and he'll give you an outline, a greater outline on what's happening on the genomic evaluation. But I think the fact that we've currently tested 300,000 animals is pretty unique in the world from a volume point of view. Again, some Hereford cows and some flowers, just to show you that we're not all Herefords again. Promotion, Hereford shows and sales, exhibitions, cattle market promotions, press advertising, website, Facebook. We find that we get a lot of hits on the website and on Facebook. We produce an annual breed journal, and then we have a reasonable income then from beef brands that we operate. The market demand, there are major changes in the market demand recently in carcass size. In supermarket packs, the steak size has reduced to 225 grams. There's more acceptance of marbling, and the grass-fed sustainability is an important aspect of beef in our market. The ideal carcass size and requirements in Ireland, 30 months, under 30 months, young bulls under 16 months, quality assured by an independent body, government body. Carcass weight is 280 kilos to 400 kilos. Conformation, which is on the EU classification, 0 equals, and a fat class of 3, 4, or 4 equals. And the Hereford ideally fits these requirements. On the Hereford beef brands, we have two brands that we operate in Ireland. One is certified Hereford beef, and that was launched in August 2012, just as we left to attend the conference in Canada. And since then, this product has won a number of awards for quality. It's available in 143 supermarkets throughout Ireland. It's available in supermarkets in Denmark and in Finland, and it valued at 24 million to the Irish farm economy. And it's available through German supermarket Lidl, which many of you will be familiar with, particularly from Europe. The Hereford Prime is the second beef brand that we have in Ireland, and it has won numerous awards. It's available in all top Irish restaurants. It's available in the UK, in Germany, in France, in Carrefour supermarket in Italy, and in the supermarket brand in Ireland. We reckon the value of it to be worth probably 28.6 million to the Irish economy. These are some Herefords on the Western Islands. Next stop is America. So if you can see, that's the Atlantic Ocean. So Hereford survive right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. And that's pretty much it, gentlemen. We'll close it there.